Hi, this is Greg. Look for my book, The Agile Brand, on Amazon or on my website at theagile.world. Welcome back to the Agile World. This is Greg Kihlstrom. In the last couple episodes, I've been talking about how to create an Agile brand. First, I talked about understanding that change is the only constant, and anticipating this and embracing it helps brands not only be agile and adaptive, but prepare for what's coming, prepare for new changes in both the industries that they belong in, technologies, marketing trends, and consumer behavior. Then I talked about how brands need to identify when evolutionary versus revolutionary processes are needed. This means sometimes small changes over time, consistent optimization, or an evolutionary process can be more valuable than waiting until things require such a big change or a revolutionary process. Sometimes revolutionary processes can be very disruptive, sometimes angering or frustrating customers versus being more agile, iterative, and evolutionary allows a business to optimize things over time. In this episode, I'm going to talk about making adaptivity and collaboration part of your culture. I think the important thing to understand is, even though we're talking about branding and marketing a lot, so much of what happens in an organization happens from within. Culture drives so many of the interactions that people have with companies. Think about the fact that it's not just marketers writing social media copy and email copy and website copy that are interacting with customers. It's everything from the obvious things like customer service to people that handle billing, people that work in your stores, all of those types of things. A great culture really helps dictate how people act and react, and how the customer experience that you have with with consumers. Agile is also not just about technology or marketing anymore. There's a lot of inroads as far as HR, business, finance. Agile is really making inroads into all of these things. I recently got an Agile certification. It's called the ICP BAF. It's Business Agility Foundations. I went through this process. First, I felt like I kind of had to get a little more into Agile, writing all these books and everything. But I was curious about the process and how, it's not just about learning things like, Scrum and sprints and all of those types of things and terminology that's specific to Agile. It's about really understanding and being able to embrace change within an organization and to be able to coach people in how to adapt to change. I think that's one of the great benefits of becoming a more agile organization. And companies as large as Procter and Gamble, ING, many others are really embracing this and making it part of their company. Again, it's not just part of their software development team or part of their marketing team. It's really a top-down initiative where management, HR, finance, and yes, marketing and technology are all becoming more agile. And if your organization is already doing this, you'll probably run into a few hurdles along the way. I've spoken with a number of people where, they've taken some initial steps. A few people I know have become organizations that they term Agile Light, for instance, where they've adopted some of the practices. Some long-standing organizations have a hard time fundamentally changing overnight. But the nice thing is that you can iterate and take that evolutionary process that I was talking about earlier. You can iterate and optimize over time and gradually change. But I think the real power in being an adaptive and collaborative organization is when everyone is adaptive and collaborative. It's not just one team is being agile and nimble and able to respond to things. It's when an entire organization can work across itself. And this may seem easier or be easier in some cases in a small organization, but when large organizations are able to be nimble like that, great things can really happen. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about how organizations need to keep in mind that it's not really just about channels and mediums, it's about customer experience. Thanks for listening. See you next week. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please rate the show on iTunes or contact me through my website at theagile.world. You can find my books, The Agile Brand and The Agile Web, on Amazon and on my website at theagile.world.